It's yours truly, Snorter. Right now, but get into that. Rod Wave, St. Pete's biggest rapper, under investigation after Quadruple shooting. Well, I guess down in Florida, they release your mug shots and give a lot of information that's personal, that's public. I think it was Easter night. Some people got into this, but the mug shot came out that Monday morning or that Tuesday, and got, the internet had their way with that shit. They had their way, But anyway, original link to this be down in the description. We got beanies still in. We got beanies still in. We still got some jeans. Original link to this be down. I already said that. And goddamn light gold. Let's go and get to 2,500. And here's a word from today's sponsors. This video is brought to you by Trust Dice. Trust Dice is one of the largest crypto casinos in sports books. And they're also a faucet site that provides free Bitcoin every 6 hours. They also have a huge user base spanning over 100 countries across the world. Also, they are highly rated by the users worldwide, according to the 3,000 plus users on Trustpilot. Here's how you get a free $25. Sign up using the promo link down in the description. First link, boy Snore, I'm gone.
Rocking with y'all rocking with me. And for this video, we're going to be speaking on Rod Wave being arrested following a quadruple shooting and an investigation into gang members that may have been too close to Rod Wave.
Developing now, 3 men with ties to recording artist Rod Wave are in jail.
Whoever these people are,
may have been too.
Whoever these
Wave are in jail.
Whoever these people are, they decided they were going to shoot into a crowd.
We recovered 2 assault rifles, 2 pounds of marijuana, and a great deal of evidence that we're going to utilize in this case as we move forward.
Rapper Rod Wave was actually incorrectly arrested by Manatee County Sheriff's Office in the aftermath of the raid.
March 31st, 2024. It was Easter Sunday, and a St. Petersburg detective was notified of a quadruple shooting at the Sonic Sports Bar and Lounge on 49th Street. 2 females and 2 males were shot, while 6 vehicles were struck by gunfire. A 17-year-old girl spoke with detectives at the hospital, stating she was shot in the left arm while running away and did not see the shooters. A 28-year-old female stated she ran from the scene, only to realize after she'd been shot in the shoulder. A 25-year-old male advised he was outside in a large group when he heard gunfire and ran, later realizing he'd been shot in the ankle. And the same would be said for a 26-year-old male who was shot in the arm and hand. The initial shooting happened on the northeast side of the restaurant, and a total of 44 shell casings would be found at the scene, fired from 9mm and .357 caliber handguns. The detective would be notified of video surveillance that not only captured the shooting, but the vehicle that fled the scene with the shooters inside. A blue 2023 Infiniti SUV could be seen arriving and parking at the restaurant. The vehicle was registered to Rodarius Green, aka Rod Wave, the multi-platinum rapper from St. Pete.
Damn, he gonna have to sell that bit. Everybody knows this nigga got a blue. I know that ain't the only one, but goddamn, Blue Infinity, that's the low key shit. That's the low key shit.
32-year-old Elias Torres could be seen exiting the driver door, while 24-year-old Christopher Atkins, 24-year-old Willie Cookinson, 20-year-old Kevontre Wesby, and 21-year-old Keith Wesby walk across the street to meet him. Elias can be seen pointing east towards where the shooting would happen moments later. The group would start walking over to where he pointed when everyone opened fire except for Elias. All 5 men would then get into the SUV as Elias drove off. The detective would state in the affidavit he's familiar with all 5 suspects as he's been conducting.
Hold the fuck up. Let me just. Now look at this shit. That looked like this guy. What was his name? What the fuck was his name? Damn. Elias. Yeah, I always thought that was Buddy. Turns out that wasn't even Buddy. Right.
When everyone opened fire except for Elias. All 5 men would then get into the SUV as Elias drove off. The detective would state in the affidavit he's familiar with all 5 suspects as he's been conducting an investigation into OMN, BOC, and the YG gangs and associates since March of 2022. 2 covert surveillance cameras have been monitoring a home located on Palm Avenue North to develop intelligence and further the investigation. The detective has spent hours watching the cameras and has viewed all listed suspects numerous times on a daily basis, coming and going from the home. The detective has even had face-to-face interactions with 3 of the 5 shooting suspects. On top of that, all of their social media accounts have been monitored, including posts from within 24 hours of the shooting showing all 5 suspects wearing the same clothes and jewelry. On April 1st, the detective would review surveillance video from the house under investigation. 14 minutes after the shooting, the blue SUV pulled into the driveway as multiple individuals exited and entered the home. Because it was after 11 p.m. at night, Elias was the only one able to be identified as he exited the driver's seat and entered. The home itself was 16 minutes away from the shooting scene, leading the detective to believe they drove directly to the house under surveillance immediately after the shooting. Probable cause would be established to charge the 4 shooters with second-degree attempted murder, while Elias was charged with principal to second-degree attempted murder. The principal theory under Florida law means you don't have to be the primary participant of a crime to be equally guilty of the crime.
Damn.
While Elias didn't shoot, he pointed in the direction of where the shooting would take place.
That's how the RICO got developed. They gonna make some new shit to fit
Beforehand,
their bullshit.
walked over and watched the shooting take place, then fled the scene with the shooting suspects. One of the shooters were on bond, while 2 others were convicted felons, leading to additional charges being filed against them. A search warrant was signed and executed on the home, in which 2 men were arrested, one of them who shares the same last name as Rod Wave. 2 rifles and 2 pounds of marijuana would be found inside of the home, while a BMW would also be found on the side of the home that would later be linked to several other shootings in the city. That vehicle was also registered to Rod Wave. Detectives would later learn of another home in Palmetto that would be searched, and inside would be more firearms, ammunition, cash, and jewelry. Both of these homes were being rented by Rod Wave. 3 days before the shooting, Rod Wave posted a picture to Instagram wearing his Florida Boy pendant over his ATR pendant. Both of these would be confiscated in the searches. Kevontre, Keith, and Christopher would be identified by police as members of the YGs or Young Gangsters, and Christopher can be seen on Instagram also wearing ATR pendants. Rod Wave is known for claiming ATR as his own clique, with ATR standing for Addicted to Racks. Now to clarify, there's no evidence ATR is a gang, and it isn't being investigated as a gang, but Rod Wave is being investigated for his ties to the YGs. Rod Wave would be arrested for being a felon in possession of a firearm and ammunition, but would be released shortly after it was determined he wasn't even a felon. Come to find out, Rod Wave had previously been charged with a felony, but later pled to a misdemeanor, and the police barely looked into it before placing him under arrest.
That's a lawsuit right there. And then hold on, then a picture come out with this nigga taking pictures with the workers. The only reason I find that funny, bro, and it's not a bad thing. I just know how much, let's just say, fame you gotta have for that to even be a possibility for you. When I say them people don't be giving a fuck, they just there for their $20 an hour or whatever hourly rate. They just there for that. Them folks do not give a fuck.
A photo would hit social media showing the rapper within Manatee County Jail taking a photo with one of the employees inside the booth, so it appears Rod didn't
That lady might never ever meet dude again.
have too bad of a time in there. But the news of his arrest, along with the video of the shooting being released, left the blogs alleging that it was actually Rod Wave in the video as the shooting went down. I mean, it was really just the fact it was a few skinny shooters and a fat guy, so everyone assumed it was Rod. Even though the news reported it was Elias, whose arrest paperwork states he's 5'9" and 400 pounds, the blogs either didn't do their homework or figured the clickbait would be better. So while Rod Wave is free, that doesn't eliminate the possibility of another issue in the future. A 2-year gang investigation into a known violent gang that has been using your cars and houses to commit shootings, stash weapons, and stash drugs sounds like the grounds for a possible RICO. And the feds don't even need to be.
How come it can't be the case of, shit, these folks, I ain't doing this for no gain. I'm taking care of my people. You know? There's some more shit that law don't give a fuck about. They don't give a fuck about none of that.
Be involved, as Florida is one of the few states that has its own RICO charge. St. Pete police had already said more arrests are expected to come, and at this time, Keith Wesby is still wanted for the Easter shooting. Police have also said the shooting stemmed from Elias having a problem with someone else and calling the 4 other men. If that's the case, it would seem the police are alleging Elias directed the 4 other men to commit the shooting. Elias can be seen in multiple pictures with Rod Wave and the other suspects, and it's believed Elias is actually Rod Wave's road manager. At the time, all 5 men are charged with offenses that under Florida law are punishable by life, and with no parole in the state, a life sentence means a prison death. Now this is a lot to take in, and at the end of the day, I'm a realist. I'm going to keep it real with y'all. Rod Wave didn't do shit. He didn't do anything. He went to jail on some fluke shit because the police didn't even look into the fact that he wasn't a felon. Whatever. They said that there was some ammunition left out in one of the homes. They tried to get him with that instead of the multiple guns that were in the homes. I'm not sure how the fuck that plays out. But either way, Rod Wave didn't do anything. The issue is the people he's hanging around, his team. This could be the team that's just with him traveling, music videos, friends he grew up with, whatever. He has 2 vehicles rented, 2 houses rented. The shooters in this case have been using one of these houses, and one of the vehicles was used to flee the scene of the shooting. That right there is a problem. I'm not sure if they could charge him, because it's like, yo, that's my manager. I let him use a car that I rent, whatever. I didn't know that they were doing shit with the car. I didn't know that the other cars wanted a multiple shootings. I had no idea.
He articulated the, I guess the point I was trying to make earlier, but it's basically what the hell I was trying to say. This shit, how can that shit be used against the motherfucker when it's, I didn't know Buddy was his manager. I always thought it was friends and all that, but whatever.
Idea about that. I didn't know that there was pounds in there. I just rented a place for my team. Whatever my team did, me personally, I don't feel like the responsibility falls on Rod Wave whatsoever. And I'm sure he got the money to have a lawyer express the same thing. But that doesn't mean Florida is going to look at it the same way. And if they've been investigating gangs in St. Pete, or more specifically the people he's associated with, for 2 years now, normally they don't do 2-year investigations just for a simple arrest. They're investigating you for 2 years because they're building up an entire case. Yeah. So when they come and smack down, there's an overwhelming amount of evidence they're able to use to put you away. Now, the RICO in Florida, I believe, carries like 20 years itself. Never mind the quadruple shooting, attempted murder, that would be just 1 count of the RICO. Now, they seized up all the jewelry and everything in the house. Really, the only explanation was we saw them wearing the jewelry. We knew it was them because we could see jewelry on the shooting surveillance, whatever. In my opinion, they're taking away your means to defend yourself. We know you got jewelry. We know you got cash. You better have some money in the bank. Otherwise, we're taking everything that you could use or sell to hire a defense team.
Yeah.
Now, as far as Rod Wave goes, I mean, he's a millionaire. He's a platinum artist. You got to be careful with who you're hanging around. Moving forward, now that he knows what's going on, he definitely got to be tiptoeing through St. Pete. I'm surprised he actually hasn't gotten up out of St. Pete. But at the end of the day, we don't know where this is going to go. They're saying more arrests are going to come. Hopefully none of this falls on Rod Wave. And hopefully nobody within his camp starts pointing the finger. The police are alleging that Elias was the one that had an issue, called the other 4 men, pointed for whatever reason on camera, and the shooting happened. Whatever happens with them, and hopefully Rod Wave is able to separate himself from that path of self-destruction. But hey, let me know y'all's thoughts and comments in the comments section. It's 1090 Jake. I'm rocking with y'all, y'all rocking with me.
Now I know this information. I'm leaving the video saying one thing or a few things. Goddamn, I will sue. Shit, why the hell these folks ain't do their research first? They got all the tools and resources in the book, and then on top of that, goddamn, yeah, they got all these resources. Why the fuck they make this suit? That's the only thing I can think about. I mean, if people that close is it's hard for me to kind of touch on the whole quadruple thing because I don't know the facts. And that's your boy Snore. I'm gone.